Certainly the tariffs could make the vehicles very expensive. I'm not picking sides by any stretch of the imagination, but I am on your side. And what I mean by that is that as we move forward into 2025, this could be a less than predictable year than what we have encountered in the past. And so if your prospecting harvesting skills aren't top notch, you could find yourself struggling very, very quickly each and every quarter of this year, because until we really understand how both countries within North America are going to decide what tariffs are in Canada, we've still got to get through an election. Neutral mode, because they need to select a leader, and then obviously we will go to an election. And when you're looking now at your plan for 2025, and I did this very same thing for myself. My plan that I constructed for us in our company in September really didn't apply anymore, especially when the government of Canada went into prorogue, and obviously when the Trump administration took over and announced that they would actually do the tariffs that they had suggested they feel the country needs to have. So when we look at what the rest of the year is going to unfold like, maybe advertising is going to fall on some deaf ears. Maybe companies and corporations are going to decide to hold back and just let well enough be alone and see what happens. And what generally happens in that scenario is we go into a stagnation, if anything, a recession. And that doesn't necessarily mean, for those of you that belong to the Auto Sales Academy and the Auto Dealership Academy on YouTube and on LinkedIn, will sell less vehicles. This is an opportunity for anyone that recognizes that if OEMs and your dealership and your dealer group and the advertising agencies can't come up with a message that will reel customers in, then the responsibility really falls on our shoulders. You have payments, and the bank expects you to make those payments. And at the end of the day, that the way you make your money is to selling automobiles. And I don't want to make it sound unreasonably simple and straightforward, but essentially that is exactly what is happening. So I would suggest that in your prospecting activity, and cold calling and spam emailing is not prospecting in today's day and age with the price of automobiles and the industry that we're in. It never was, and I don't believe it ever will be. Don't buy an email list. That is not going to serve you. Don't think for a second that by just spamming a whole bunch of your existing clients that you haven't talked to in 2 or 3 or 4 years is a good plan either. Don't think that sending one email out and one telephone call and one carrier pigeon, if that's how you're going to do it, or for that matter, a mail piece is going to do it. You're really going to have to get diligent and create a budget for yourself and decide, number one, how much time can I apply to this? Because you don't want to take time away from selling on the floor to having nothing more to do other than populating your social media, coming up with a 30 email sequence, making sure that your hook, your message, and the description of the vehicle meets your offer so that people will come in. This can be overwhelming and bewildering, not to mention maybe you want to attract more followers so that you can create a larger audience and cast your message to a greater web of shoppers and buyers. The bottom line is you probably have a ton of ripe buyers, and you know what I've called them in the past, unintentional buyers, because the intentional shopper is the one that is responding to our advertisements. They are the fickle ones. They are the ones that are shopping for a better deal all the time. They are the ones that are so fearful of making a decision too soon that a better deal will come along, and they decided right now. We need to make sure that we balance our pipeline of leads coming in with these unintentional buyers, because those are the people that you already earned the know, like, and trusted badge of honor with. Now, if you're new in the business, you're 30 days or less in the business, you don't have a great big portfolio of buyers to choose from and to that, for that matter, go after. But the dealership probably has a list of orphans the length of my arm and much longer that you could capitalize on. Leads are dead and shouldn't be followed up. In fact, no lead should ever go away. You should always want to be communicating and talking to and attempting to attract with your hook, a dynamite hook, What is the reason for a customer to want to come in and purchase your product? And then, of course, the story that you tell about that product is the reason why they want to buy it. The calls that I'm fielding right now from so many coaching sessions are, Bill, marketplace is dead. There's nothing going on. I post my product. And what we need to do with harvesting prospects is looking at those people who we've already earned the know, like, and trust badge of honor with. So if there are orphans at the dealership, if there are service department upgrades, look, a lot of people will not buy an automobile from your dealership because they don't know that you exist, but they service their vehicle at your dealership. They have a salesperson that they deal with miles and hours away because they always have, but your dealership is right around the corner. It's really easy to get the tires rotated and the ball joint fixed and the oil change done, and the list goes on and on. But they don't know anybody in the front of the dealership that they know, like, and trust with the second greatest financial decision that they make in their life. All you need to do is find out who those people are. Go out to the service department, have a look at the vehicles that are in the service queue. Go out on the lot and walk the lot and see what is a 5, 6, 7 year, 8-year-old vehicle that has 100,000 miles or 100,000 kilometers on it, and it's approaching or has run out of warranty. This is a terrific opportunity for you to hook that individual to the story of a vehicle that they could go to with your irresistible offer, whatever that may be. And that could be 0%, that could be you've already calculated payments, that could be you've given them a free trade appraisal on the vehicle that they currently have. Your hook alone, your story in the offer could be, would you sell us your car? Would you sell me your car? Because I have a buyer for it. And by car, I mean, you know what I mean, car, truck, utility, sport utility, and vans. So when you continue with your plan to sell 10, 20, 30 vehicles per month, as we go forward with the uncertainty of the current economy because of the two governments in Canada and the US settling themselves down and getting to their plan, that the US is enacting their plan, Canada has to get to a point where there is a plan being enacted. We really have to decide where we can put our efforts to the greatest of our ability to put in the least amount of effort for the greatest reward. And that is how you can maintain, or that is how you can make yourself available to walk-in, e-leads, and phone calls, while at the same time you're balancing your portfolio by going after those unintentional buyers. Now, another place that you can find unintentional buyers are in your own network. And salespeople are notoriously poor for going after friends, family, relatives, neighbors, previous coworkers, colleagues, and really, for that matter, promoting within their own social media profile. Now, this session is not about social media, but you know how much I enjoy it, how much I believe that is the only place that we're receiving our media, and therefore that is the reason why you want to be advertising there. But rather than just aimlessly, brainlessly posting material on your own social feed, why don't you give some thought to and researching the market, reaching out to your best friend, reaching out to your mom, your dad, your brother, whomever looks at your feed on a regular basis, and saying, when you see my stuff, when you see me post something, is that interesting and something of something that attracts you to the fact that I'm posting? Or is it just that, I sell cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, but you skim over it because it has absolutely zero interest in you? What has zero interest to you? Is it the picture? Should I do reels? Should I do carousels? Should I boost my post? And all of those questions are excellent, especially as we go forward in these uncertain times. If you are struggling to sell 10 vehicles per month, end that struggle, book a call with me. A discovery call for 15 minutes could really change your life. I'll give you some strategy immediately what you can do, especially to attract more people. If leads aren't your problem, I have a client right now, leads are not their problem. Never have been their problem. Every time I go to them, I go, hey, how are your leads? How's your social media? How is everybody leveraging social media? And the question, the comment always comes back from the sales manager to the general manager to the owner and the VP of the group. It's like, Bill, leads are not our problem. Closing is our problem. If you have 40 leads per month coming in on a regular basis, and you are only closing at a 1 in 5, there's an opportunity. That's not a problem. That's an opportunity. All you need to do is learn how to be a better closer. I can certainly help you with that, give you some tactics. We can rehearse what you're going through right now and why your closing ratio is hovering around the 1 in 5. I think for average ordinary automobile salespeople, it's even lower than that. And this time of the year kind of drives that as well. Customers are coming in extremely fearful about buying. They don't know whether it's because of the politics. They don't know whether it's because of the economy or the tariffs or the salt that's poured down on the roadway in the northern 48 and in Canada, or whether they should just wait till the spring. And apparently if car prices are going to go up, the automobile manufacturers are going to have to respond and they're going to have to make better deals. Those intentional shoppers that are confusing themselves, and the confused mind always says no, holding off from purchasing, that could be your frustration. That could be the reason why you're struggling to sell 10, 20, 30 vehicles per month. Remember, when you sell 10, to go from 10 to 20 is 100% more effort required to get there. But to go from 20 to 30 cars per month only requires 33% more effort. You realize that, right? Will take you to 30 cars per month. Now, going from 10 to 20 and maybe going from 6 to 12 is murderously difficult for you. But this is the reason why I introduce in prospect harvesting, as we're talking about right now, this unintentional shopper that lurks in the service department, that lurks in social circles. I'm not suggesting for a second you join a whole bunch of groups on Facebook. You can. It has been proven to be very helpful and successful. You want to look for groups that are talking about buying a car. They make it very clear that this is for consumers looking for advantages and how to buy an automobile, and salespeople can be there to offer assistance, but follow the rules of that group and the moderator that started it and so on, because lots of other opportunities for you to do so. As I suggested, post a marketplace. Like, that's the place for it. Why waste your time in other very small groups when any consumer, including myself, and probably you too, when we go on Facebook, I mean, I look at my feed and what all of you are posting, and I love seeing your deliveries, and I love seeing what's new and coming down the pipe. And I like when you reshare and repost industry news, especially on LinkedIn at the Auto Dealership Academy. I like that. I read that. I thank you for doing so. I generally comment. But if I'm looking to buy something, or if I'm looking just to kill some time, in the evening, wind down time, Friday night, or waiting for my physio appointment, because I'm going into a mountain bike race on Saturday, so I'm getting ready for that as well, and I'm stretching, I'll jump on Facebook Marketplaces just to see what is for sale. And it's just not cars and trucks and vans, it's everything. It's boats and airplanes and model airplanes and model boats and bicycles and widescapes, and the list goes on and on. Mountain bikes. I'm sure the algorithm, it's like, oh my gosh, here comes Bill Harvey. What a nightmare this is. We have no idea what to put in his feed. Goodness gracious, what is a widescape for that matter? Google it. It really neat snowmobile. And of course, I'm a power sport enthusiast as well. Anything that is gasoline powered, I'm enamored with it, unquestionably. But here's the thing. That level of interest, everything that the algorithm is trying to figure out on those social media apps, is exactly how we should be thinking about our prospecting activities and how we can reel customers into us. What is it that our customers are interested in? That's the reason why earlier I said, when you post something, ask your friends and family, when they see your post, especially about an automobile, is it something that they want to see? Is it captivating? Is it interesting? Because if it is not, then let's get on to what is. And their feedback is invaluable. Now, the next part of the equation is, I see this time and time again. Average ordinary automobile salespeople right now have gone from, I don't want to be on social media, and that was last year. And of course, years back, going all the way back to when social media really became a thing, probably 2016, 2015-ish. Now to, okay, I don't want to be on it. Now it's like, I'm on it. and they're just posting and blasting, here's a 2025 Silverado in blue, and it's gorgeous, and it has these features, and you can tell ChatGPT wrote it, which is good. I would encourage you to do that rather than just writing it yourself. It'll flow, it'll look better. They put the automatic emojis in, and then they blast it out there, and they sit back and wait. And that's the only thing that they do. That is not prospect harvesting. You're sending your message out exactly like advertising to the open market, and don't be surprised if the take rate is less than 1%, because it's getting lost in the feed and the noise of all the others. However, that is just but one tactic that you want to leverage. I don't want to discourage you from doing it. Keep doing it. But then take that vehicle that you featured there and plug that into an email sequence to Silverado buyers. Now, you can send it out to your used vehicle buyers of pickup trucks, F-150, Ram, Tundra, Frontier, and the list goes on. But I think you're going to have a whole lot more traction. You've already earned the Know, Like, and Trust badge of honor. If you haven't earned it, your dealership and your brand has earned it, going out to the Silverado people. So going through and mining your database exactly how Auto Alert would do it, exactly how a private sale company would mine your database, specifically pulling out vehicles of a certain age with a certain amount of mileage of that exact same model and in many cases trim level, reaching out to those people. That's the way you do it. That's the way you have so much more traction rather than just willy-nilly throwing it all out in the market. I hope you found this helpful. My name is Bill Harvey with the Auto Sales Academy on Facebook, the Auto Dealership Academy on YouTube, and here on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to know more about prospect harvesting, some talk tracks, some tactics, some angles that you can, some levers that you can pull to really make a difference, especially when we're going into a lot of uncertain political and economic times. If you are struggling, it is not your fault. It is the fault of the marketplace. It may be the fault of advertising, which could be the fault of your dealer, could be the fault of your manufacturer. But here's the thing. That is just not the only place where you can find people. Reach out to me. I will put a link in the comments below to book a 15-minute call. Take advantage of it. It's free. I promise I won't try to pitch anything. I'll just go ahead and answer your questions, tell you where I think the opportunity lies for you. And if you think that you'd like to know more about the manifesto, you'd like to know even more about this prospect harvesting activity, which can be complemented with leveraging apps and technology, then simply ask me. I'm happy to give you a demo, that's for sure. But that's not the point of the 15-minute call. I really want to help you. I want to help 10,000 automobile salespeople reach their maximum potential this year. And I believe this year is going to be a challenge. So reach out to me. Happy to share all those details with you.